We're here in a place called Lucas Valley. It's in Nicasio, north of San Francisco, about 30 miles. We're going to be interviewing Steve Napolitan. He is an amazing guy. You're really going to get to hear how a Zen hustler lives and does it well. So he balances family, work. A lot of his work is about attracting the ideal clients to your business so that you can actually have success and enjoy your work and not feel stressed, have time for your family, and really embody the values of what we feel like is Zen hustlers. So stay tuned for the interview with Steve Napolitan, and from his beautiful home here in Nicasio. I'm really excited to share this interview with you, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hey, Steve Napolitan here, and we're in my home in Marin, and I'm excited that I get to live here and I get to share this moment with you because it wasn't always this way. And now I take all the things that I've learned, and my main focus is helping people have more business and more life. It's all about choosing our life and then building our business around that. So typically I work with C-level executives, entrepreneurs, other coaches, consultants, speakers who found success, but they don't have the life that they want. And then I bring in business and marketing systems that have more business. Well, they start designing their life and living it now. Having this house and having you here now is actually because I stopped doing all that. That way wasn't the way. I actually changed the way my thinking is, and I've been able to actually work smarter and now have this opportunity. So for me, when the pain comes in, that's when I pull back and I say, how else can I get there? And so I'm big on that no sacrifice. So comfort zone to me is if I start going somewhere and I don't want to go there, then I check in with myself. Am I afraid? Is it because I'm afraid of what's going to happen or I don't know what's going to happen? And then that's comfort zone. And then I will step forward. But when I actually don't like something and in my gut I'm like, oh, like this sucks. Oh, you know, and those are times I used to tell myself, just get through it, Steve, do it. Those are the points where I pull back now. Well, I believe we have those indicators inside of us. And when we're getting pain in our business or in our life, it's actually indicators that's saying, don't go this way. And if a lot of people can relate because they notice where you get like little taps, like, hey, maybe you should go this way. And then you don't listen to those taps and then you get like slapped and all of a sudden the rug gets pulled under you and you might lose everything, right? You know, this happens, right? We're going down the wrong path. And many people that you hear after they lose everything, they're like, oh my gosh, then I found the right path. This is my roadmap for my business or my life. And then we start going and then the road sucks or like it's a closed road and we're like off the road and we don't stop. We're like, that was the way I was gonna go. Instead of saying, wait a minute, let's get a detour. People say, are you a business coach or a life coach? And I'm like, well, what, do you die when you go to work? You know, like, I mean, the thing is that it's everything. So I am a life coach, business coach, consultant, strategist. I still consult with $1 million and $1 billion companies. And, you know, the thing is, the framework is the same. So when I'm helping smaller businesses, you know, grow, so I do a bit of both. So I have some people that are, you know, six-figure earners, but they want to become millionaires, or they want their organization to get out there. It's not always about money, but they're trying to grow something or, you know, create momentum in a cause. So, well, what if we keep your money where it is and gain more life for yourself, and then if we make more money, then it's bonus. You know, beyond balance. A lot of people talk about this. This is like integrating your business in your life or your career in your life. How do you have both without sacrificing? You know, the pains that people come are that they're working way too much. They're overwhelmed. They built a business that they loved and now it's like out of control. In order to grow the revenue they want, they have to put in more hours. You know, they get stuck figuring out the best system. We actually just get stuck in the doing and we forget to step out and look. I'll always have mentors, coaches, workshops. I continually invest in myself. At 19, I started my first business. Till 31, I was just grinding, and I did build a business. From outside, everyone said, Steve, you're like this young entrepreneur doing it. But the reality inside, I was broken. I got like overweight, I was sick. I lost over $4 million in my 20s through that I earned and lost. And then in my 30s, I invested $500,000 in myself with coaching, workshops, mentorship programs. And at 30, I would have never been able to even commit to that. It was just like incremental. I kept investing. Once I invested, I realized the change. So even today, I look for mentors. But the reason I said sometimes maybe it's directly you need a mentor or a coach, sometimes you just need to pause. People go, I'm overwhelmed. Okay, great, take a break. And they look at me, no, I have all this stuff to do. I'm like, exactly. Take a break. Then we redesign their calendar, because overwhelm comes from not having a plan. It's just too many things on the to-do list. You never know when you're going to get done. Every day you feel like a failure because you didn't get done everything you needed to get done, and that's why you feel overwhelmed. And a lot of people, the big thing with C-level executives, entrepreneurs, and other coaches and consultants is they're alone. They don't have people to turn to, like especially C-level executives. If they give their vulnerability, they're bored, they're afraid their board might fire them. If they talk to their team might feel like, oh my gosh, are we going anywhere? And they're afraid they're gonna jump ship. So they look in the mirror every day saying, can I do this, you know? So the pain for all of them, all the people I work with are, you know, to stop being alone in all their decisions. You need to work on your business more than in it. And when you have that transference, that's when like business balloons. But so many of us get stuck in. Taking a break is a lot of things, right? Well, like one, it could be taking a vacation, and people think about that and they're like, well, I can't fit that in, or I can't afford that right now. But taking a break comes down to just even taking 5 or 10 minutes in between meetings. Like when you start to feel overwhelmed, then actually go outside and walk around, or do jumping jacks by your desk if you can't go outside. You know, like just getting movement in our body and trying to figure something out, and you're grinding and grinding, and then finally you give up, go to bed, wake up in the morning, and within minutes you solve the problem that you were stressing about. And this is because we all need a reset. We all have so much energy, right? So if you let your battery go down, you're not even efficient. We need recovery just as much. And that's why I'm not a fan. One of our goals with our company is to help people work less than 40 hours a week. And this is everywhere. We're working with bigger companies too, where we're starting to help them get less than 40 hours for all staff members, and productivity goes up because time is so wasted, because the fan is going like this. Instead of giving more breaks and then having it come back at full force, I'd rather have you at full force for 4 hours than half force at like 8 hours. Like, why have to work 8 hours? Why do you have to work 10 hours? I say take more breaks during the day. Like every hour or two, you should be taking a 5 to 10 minute break. By my desk, I have juggling balls, I have Rubik's Cubes, I have a flute, I have a piano in my house, so like I'll just walk over there and play for 10 minutes, pick up the guitar and play, walk around. That's why, like what you're looking at, just going out in nature, walking around and taking that few minute break, listening to music, gardening, all these things, and take it in micro moments. Then taking a little bit more time off at the end of the week. Maybe you finish one of your days early. Maybe you take you only work 4 days, you know, and then take a day off. Then every month, take a long weekend, or at least every quarter. I have one client that was stressed out, overwhelmed, and she now takes a trip every month. She does a long weekend every month, and she takes a vacation once a quarter. This stuff works. You're more efficient. But really, it's just start with the small breaks, then get bigger ones, then get vacations. You have to put it on your calendar. You have to put it on your calendar. So even before I could afford some of the vacations I wanted to go on, I would just put it on my calendar, and then some money would come in, then I would buy the airline tickets. Then some more money would come in, then I would book the accommodations. You know, just doing it in increments, but putting it on the calendar and saying, that's when I'm gonna go, that changed everything for me. And then you start planning around that, and you actually start working, because when you have a deadline, put a date with your significant other so that you like make reservations. So I have to be off work at 5 because I'm going to go meet her or him, and I'm going to go have this amazing night, or I'm going to go play with my kids. But plan it and make it so you can't get out of it. If you plan your fun, then it'll actually compress your work time. And because of my change, the biggest changes in my life were through my mind, right? Like it's my own beliefs and all that. So in our workshops, when I'm working one-to-one, we're working on beliefs. And I would even say 70 to 80% of the work is moving our belief systems. And then the 20 or 30% is the business stuff. And we'll think it's like this excuse or that excuse, but really like we're working at our own limit. Like everyone has a ceiling. So all beliefs are limiting. All beliefs. People say, oh, what's a limiting belief? Well, all beliefs are limiting because I'm working on my limiting beliefs right now. You're like, what do you mean? You have the life, Steve. I'm like, no, because I want to live more. I want to be able to give more to the world. I'm right now making more money so I can build bigger retreat centers and have people come from all over the world. Like it's all for the cause that what I want to do, but I'm bumping up against my own beliefs. Or you could start watching videos, and yes, will they help? Yes, it'll start giving you ideas, but to get into that deeper work, or if you're asking yourself, like, I know what to do, like I've learned from this business coach and that business coach or that, why don't I do it? there's something else deeper, and you can't look in the mirror and say, oh, just stop it. Just stop doing that. It doesn't work, and that's why having somebody else that has the tools to help us reprogram. A reptilian brain is just fight or flight. All it is to keep you alive. It's like monitoring mainly breathing, all the things we're doing, and then it is all about our safety. And guess what? When you go for your dreams, it's like, nope, not safe. We don't know anything about that. It only wants proven. So if you have the life that you have now, it's like, we know this works. Even if you're like, the frontal cortex is like, this is BS, I want more for my life, I'm not happy. This part's all, well, we're alive. So it overrides our dreams. But so that's the bad news. The good news is we can actually work through that. And that's why people come to my workshops, because then they get in like a 3-day experience. We work on the business things, and I'm big on leaving with a plan. So you don't like come to a workshop and you're like, oh, one day I'll do that. Like, we're doing it in the room, and I'm working on the beliefs at the same time. The thing about change is 97% of the change is within ourselves. It doesn't matter what I say, what anyone says. So no, you're not gonna have change unless you want it.
So you just got to hear the interview with Steve Napolitan. Wasn't that awesome? I mean, I'm taking away so many different insights, so many different ways of thinking about how to structure my business, how to structure the work-life balance, how to bring in joy and family and friends and create wealth while having clients you really want to work with and you have fun with. So that's the way the Zen Hustler live. So be sure to subscribe below, get notified when we release new videos, and send us ideas about what would you want to see as far as our Zen Hustlers channel. Who do you want us to interview, and what questions should we ask them? I hope you find balance on the edge of feeling overwhelmed and stressed so that you can feel calm, be productive, and live that Zen Hustlers lifestyle.